And Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. You feel me?
Rich Trapper.
The homie wanted you to whitelist this shit too.
Who?
Rich Trapper.
Rich Trapper?
He be reacting to your shit. Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. We back in this thing, like cracking this thing, man. Like, comment, subscribe for more of this good content we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Some news you can use, some knowledge though you can't get in nobody's collar. G-Tho, big dog. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. As we continue to bust this woo-wop of a 1-2 step like Sierra, you feel me? Make sure y'all get into that, man. Thursday, June the 20th, we will be doing a live video with my man Haters World. Shout out to Blue Devil, shout out to Haters World. We doing a live with my man, you know what I'm saying, that's coming up. And I'm gonna be pulling up on Spider Loc real soon, man. We got a sit down coming up. That's being locked in. So shout out to Spider Loc, shout out to Alex Alonzo on Street TV. Thank y'all, appreciate y'all for having me on y'all platform. The same goes for Haters World. I talked to my man Smack. Smack said that, hey man, we got a lot going on, but we gonna squeeze you in for show though. And I said, appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you. You feel me? Because, you know, sometimes you gotta be in a cut like a Band-Aid, but get in where you fit in. You feel me? You feel me? Either way it go, man, I appreciate the city of LA for showing me so much love, man. It feels great to be home. It feels great to be home. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sliding, doing my thing as I'm doing my thing. You feel me? Still ain't seen Milk, still ain't seen 600. It's wild. 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 I ain't seen neither one of those guys. Especially considering all the places that I've been. You would have thought that I would have saw those two guys specifically. You know, seeing the people that I've seen, hung out with, conversed with, smoked a couple little woo-wops with. I ain't seen these guys. They're scared to come outside. Anyway, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hit the subscribe button, become part of the Rich Trapper Mafia, though. Make sure y'all hit that woo-wop and the wooty bam. Get into all that if you ain't got into all that. Make sure you tap in with the tap in when you are tapping inwards. You feel me? Get into my newest single, How Little You Care, Your Love Ain't For Me. It's out now. Make sure y'all get into that if you ain't got into that. Also, drop a comment because the best comment between now and 5,000, 50,000 subscribers will get a $500 cash Appington. The best comment between now and 50,000 subscribers will get a $500 cash Appington. Shout out to the Tesla for driving itself. It's a beautiful thing, man. Finish up into this content, man. Shout out to my man, Paperboy News. OG from 5-1 Trouble wants to end the war between the Hoovers and the Troubles against the neighborhood Crips. That would be a beautiful thing, man. Shout out, and if this is true, I don't think anybody's confirmed it to me yet to be false, but can somebody please confirm it to me to be true? I want to give a big shout out to the Parus, to the Fruit Towns, and to the Treetops specifically because they have a ceasefire going on, man. So I love that for them. If that is true, I really love that. We would love to see the same thing with the Parus, with the neighborhoods and the Hoovers and the Troubles. That would be a beautiful thing as well, too. So we finna jump into this content, though, without no further ado, the don'ts. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Now shout outs to the real G-Face from 5-1 Trouble Gangster Crips. And he started a YouTube channel, and if y'all want to know what that channel is, it's Fizo511. And it's spelled F...
I had a nose here, y'all. That was terrible. Golly.
EZO 511. And y'all should check it out. It's a pretty dope channel. Now G-Face was just strolling around with his homies going live on the phone, and then out of nowhere, Break Baby jumps into his live. Now this is the one thing I can appreciate about the older heads, because even though they started the war with all of these other gangs, you know, when they live to a certain age, you know, they try to mend everything. And that's what G-Face is trying to do now. When he was chopping it up with Break Baby as well as Spider Loc, who in the past were looked at as his mortal enemies. Now G-Face said ever since he made contact with Spider Loc at No Jumper, Spider Loc slid him his number, and ever since then, you know, they built a relationship and a friendship, and they've been talking to each other ever since. And Big Face said as far as the beef is going on between these gangs going at it with his set, the Trouble Gangster Crips, he said it's over with. Now G-Face said he found a formula to make...
Hey, that's a beautiful thing, man. I hope that is true.
All the blacks in LA get along, which I'm gonna be honest with you, and everybody wishes that was true. But with all the lives taken in the past from their enemies, or who they looked at as their enemies, it's gonna be hard to mend that. But I mean, if the Florencia 13 and the East Coast Crips can cease fire and cause truce, anything is possible. Now G-Face's homie, who's locked up right now, and he was on the phone with him, had a pretty good idea. And he was like, for all the gang leaders from each section, they should start up a YouTube channel and push that positivity. Because at the end of the day, they factors, and they got a bunch of little homies that'll listen to them. So if they're out out there pushing a positive message saying that they should cease fire and everybody should get along, there's a possibility it could work. Now, it was crazy how Big G-Face was chopping it up with his Dom.
Now, if everybody could cease fire and get along, that could be a huge way for these things to come to an end. And not only could that work with the YouTube, if they just sat down and had conversations, that would be a number one. Y'all would generate so much chili. Can you imagine, like, with all the gangs in LA, had they, like, OGs come together, and then the OGs would, like, sit down with their oppositions and have conversations and all that? That would go viral. That would go viral. Can you imagine, like, a reputable from 6-0 sitting down with a reputable from A-Tray, or, you know what I'm saying, like a reputable from 30 sitting down with a reputable from 20s and all that kind of stuff. 20 Bloods, 30, don't worry about it, you don't know about it. A reputable from, dare I say, a reputable from Longo sitting down with a reputable from 20 Crip in Long Beach. That will be big. That will be big. You feel me? I'm just saying. That will be fire, though. That will be fire. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that should happen.
Partner, and he told them that his big homie, Big Evil from 8-9 Family Swamp Bloods, should be out by next year. And if you guys watch Lil Doc Dome, when he was on Cat Mac, he mentioned his name. Now, G-Face brought up a good point, and he said the blacks are their own worst enemies. And while they out here doing all of these violent things to each other, you know, other people of other races are documenting it and getting paid off of it. Now, he said in order for us to accomplish these things, we gotta first clean ourselves up and get off these drugs. Now, G-Face said in his active years, he was pitching out a lot of work. And he said even though he made a lot of fast money, he was spending most of his life going in and out of jail. And he told all the people that's staying in the ghetto and the trenches that instead of taking the route that he took, you know, educate yourself, hop online and tell your story and get paid off of it. And you ain't gotta look over your shoulders and worry about the police trying to arrest you, cause you ain't breaking no laws. Now, G-Face said the Troubles, before they linked up with the Hoovers, they were a very unique gang. And back at that time, before they joined with the Hoovers, multiple gangs used to go in and out of there and nobody tripped on them. But all of that changed when gangs started forming up and people started taking each other's lives. Then G-Face used Nigeria as an example. And he said every time the Nigerian government takes control of their people, the bad people, which he referred to as the US government and the Europeans, send burners over there so they can destroy each other. And he said that's the same thing they're doing in America by giving burners out here in these ghettos so the blacks can eliminate the blacks. And to back up his story, G-Face played a little clip by G Perico. Now, G Perico said where he's from, they don't value females or relationships. So when they get older, being that that's what they seen, they think that's the normal, which keeps the effed up cycle continuing on in the ghetto. And G Perico said in order to prevent that from happening, you gotta
Shout out to G Perico.
be careful with who you align yourself with and who you take advice from. And he said the energy that you put out in this universe is gonna come back to you. And that's why the ongoing cycle was going on in the ghettos, because the feud that was going
See what I mean? Put your hand back on the wheel, big dog.
on with the founders, the
Hey, nigga, you up? If you ain't, put your hands back on this wheel.
little homies just follow suit to that. And no one was there to tell them that we need to change this up and get money, because the big homies as well as their founders of that gang were either locked up for life or they were dead. So now what you left with is a bunch of youngsters that's misguided and the government bringing up burners, putting it in their hands, and then the rest is history. Now, in my personal opinion, being that I live in the LA ghetto streets, the only way I can see that happening.
Okay, so Paperboy News, you do live in LA. Hey, bro, DM me, bro. Let's smoke a little blunt, bro. I'm back home. You feel me? Smoke a little weed, a little chit chat, all that. You feel me? Let me know something.
Is either the founders or big homies are staying active within a community or their sections and educating them on how to prevent gang violence. But we don't see that, and lives are getting taken every single day in these ghetto streets, especially in Los Angeles. So although that's a good message that G-Face has, and hopefully he does come through and pull that off, I don't really see it happening. Now, the hardest part of squashing the gang beef is the healing process, because you're always going to have a member that grew up with somebody and consider them as family as well as his brother, and he lost his life to a person that they consider ops in the streets. So how are you going to tell that person to peace treaty with that gang, knowing that they took his homie's life? But like I said, we gonna all pray for the best. But y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in that comment section. It's Paperboy News, Stan. Y'all be safe and stay dangerous out there. Go.
Shout out to my man, Paperboy News, man. I appreciate the content as always, man. We finna get up out of here to the next one. Wait. That shit play. Make sure y'all get into this good content, man. We out here to the next one. Red dot, slide to the left. Some more of this good content we got going on here at the TNT and Trap News Network. Get some of this good chili though. Red dot to the left. And it's Free Avenue Angel, so he's free though. We go.